Hi, my name is Helen Colby, and this video is an introduction to Zoom, how to use Zoom if you would like to use it as your video conferencing platform for things like sacrament meeting and for young women's, young men's, Sunday school, other auxiliary meetings like that. I use Zoom every day in my work life. I am a teacher, and I really think that it is by far the best video conferencing software around. I am going to review how you set up a sacrament meeting, how you can set up a auxiliary meeting like Sunday school, young women's, some tips and tricks, and also what it will look like when you have your first meeting. If you have any questions after this video, please feel free to reach out to me. You can either send me an email or you can contact me through my contacts listed on LDS Tools. Now, the first thing you're going to need to do is, of course, be on the internet. If you're watching this video, you already are. This works best if you are using a laptop or computer. So open up your laptop or computer and open up to the internet. I would suggest using Google Chrome. Other internet browsers will also work. The first thing you're going to need to do is get to the Zoom website. Just enter into Google Zoom, Z-O-O-M. You can also go to zoom.us to get there. Now, once you've logged into Zoom, you need to have a Zoom account. If you do not already have a Zoom account, you're going to click on this orange button and create an account. If you do not have a Zoom account, right now, pause the video, find zoom.us, click on the orange button, and create your account. When you have finished creating your account, come back to keep watching this video. So at this point, I assume that you have created your Zoom account. I'm going to sign in and show you what it will look like when you are on your initial page. You can see I've already created some example meetings. I'm going to step you through exactly what you need to do. Now, this is a basic account. That means this account is totally free. I haven't paid for any extra features. If you paid for any of the extra features, like allowing you to have extra people on, for example, over 100 people on your Zoom call or a meeting longer than 40 minutes, your landing page might look a little different, and that's okay because you'll still have the same information. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to click on Settings. Over on the left side, Settings. Here are some settings that you should and probably should not have. Automatically, waiting room is on. You can keep it on. This is something, just remember that if you have waiting room clicked on, you will have to let in each person individually as they join your Zoom call. The rest of these options, I would just keep on as they are already pre-set up. You don't really need to mess with them. Under Schedule Meeting, Host Video, Start Meetings with Host Video on. I would also do Start Meeting with Participant Video on. Here it says Join Meeting Before Host. I would keep that function off. Enable Person Meeting ID, perfect. Mute participants upon entry, yes. Now let's keep going because we have a very, very important function that we still need to turn on. That function is breakout rooms. So I'm going to go all the way to the bottom till I find breakout rooms, and I want to make sure it's on. You know it is on because it will be blue. And I'm going to check that yes, host can assign participants to breakout rooms before scheduling. Breakout rooms are really what makes Zoom one of the greatest video conferencing tools. Another feature that you might want to think about is screen sharing. Screen sharing is when a person can show what's on their screen to other people. I would have screen sharing on for hosts, but probably not have screen sharing on for other people. Okay, perfect. So now that we have all of these settings ready, we're ready to schedule our first meeting. Now this is really important. You're going to want to schedule the meeting in advance, not just create host meeting. So once all of your settings are ready, come back to this video. If you haven't changed those settings yet, pause your video. Okay, I'm assuming your settings look like mine. Now I'm going to click Schedule a Meeting. I'm going to write example sacrament meeting 2.0. You'll notice this red box. This is saying about how since I have a Zoom free plan, it has a limit of 40 minutes. If you are planning on using this for sacrament meeting, there's a good chance it'll go over 40 minutes. You might consider getting a paid account. You can use one paid account for your whole ward. I'm going to schedule the time, so I'll click on Sunday. Let's say that my ward began at 11 a.m., so I'll click on 11 a.m. Duration 1 hour. This thing doesn't really matter too much, but just put it for approximately how long you think it's going to take. Time zone. Now here is a very important function. You're going to click check on recurring meeting. You're going to have it weekly, repeat every Sunday, and then for end date, I would honestly pick a end date somewhere in July of next year. Hopefully by then we will be back in a normal schedule. By creating a recurring meeting link every single week, you can use the same link. I'm going to give you just 10 seconds. If you need to pause the video so that you are creating your meeting and you're setting up these initial functions to look like mine. Just change it to your ward's Zoom time. Awesome. So next you're going to have your passcode. I would probably change the passcode to something that's easy to remember. Maybe the name of your ward, maybe something that's symbolic to your ward. The waiting room is exactly what it sounds like. It's the waiting place before people enter the Zoom call. I would usually, if you have the password on, which you should have the password on, just uncheck this. That way you're not having to let in every single person. Video you want on for host and participants, and you want to mute participants upon entry because that will keep everyone quiet when they're entering in. Once I have all of these settings set up, I'm going to click Save. And now you can see here is my meeting. This link is the link that you're going to want to copy and share on your ward's Facebook page, sending out to people in text, anywhere. Send it as an email, however you communicate with your ward, send them this link. This will be the same link that they can use every single Sunday. And you can actually copy all the information by just clicking right here. When you're ready to share this link and the information with your ward members, you can just click Copy Invitation. It'll show you all of the days that you're planning on having the meeting. So this shows all the Sundays at 11 o'clock. It'll show you the link, the meeting ID, and the passcode. Now, if you choose to do one of the paid versions of Zoom, it will also give you information for calling into Zoom. This is a great option if you have ward members who do not have an internet or are not good with using the computer or laptop. With this option, it gives them a phone number that they can call, like on any cell phone or on any landline, and they can listen to the audio of a meeting. This way they could listen to sacrament talks if you have, for example, someone who is a shut-in or has a hard time coming to church, or maybe is currently not going to come to church meetings because of health concerns. So at this point, I want you to make sure that you have your meeting created. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like when you start your meeting. So put your Sunday hat on. It is Sunday morning. It is about maybe 10 or 15 minutes before you're going to start sacrament meeting. You're going to click this blue Start This Meeting button. If you haven't already downloaded Zoom, you're going to make sure Zoom is downloaded on your computer, and you're going to click Open Zoom Meetings. So now we have our video set up. So you can see we have 3 people who are on our virtual sacrament meeting, and on this video with our Salt Lake Temple, you can see what our friends would see on the sacrament meeting. So here's some important settings when you have sacrament meeting to be aware of. I'm going to go over to participants. During sacrament meeting, you are going to want to mute participants upon entry and uncheck allow participants to unmute themselves. There is no reason anyone who is joining you for sacrament meeting should be unmuted, so just uncheck that. I would allow participants to rename themselves. This allows them to change their name. So if they have a silly name like Velma, they can change their name so that you know who they are. So just mute participants upon entry, allow participants to rename themselves, and you should be able to get started with your sacrament meeting. Now, if you have any problems, here's some things, if they come up, what you can do. Let's say for some reason, Fred becomes unmuted. You can just click on his name and you can click mute. Let's say Fred is really causing some problems. You can actually click remove. This totally kicks the person out of the meeting. Those are two things that you can do if you're noticing a problem. But overall, if you have a password and everything set up correctly, you should be fine. So, Sacrament Meeting is pretty simple. You got this whole setup, it's great. Now I want you to pretend that we're using this meeting for Sunday School and Young Women's. Now, I would personally recommend that if you are going to be doing Sunday School or Young Women's on Zoom, that you create a separate link for Zoom. So that means each person, someone in the auxiliary, so the president of each organization has their own Zoom account and they're each creating their own meeting ID so that they can have their own meeting in control. So just pretend we have finished Sacrament Meeting. This is a separate link and everyone on this link is here ready for Sunday School. There are some really cool functions that you can use for Sunday School. So let's say, for example, I wanted people to be able to turn and talk to their partner. So I wanted people to be able to share their thoughts on the scripture. I could go to breakout rooms. I could say I want to assign our 3 breakout participants into 2 rooms. So there'll be 1 to 2 participants per room. I can create rooms. You can see I've got different people assigned to each rooms. I want to change these options. I'm going to change countdown to 10 seconds. And I'm going to move all participants into breakout rooms automatically. So let's say I just said, what are your thoughts on this scripture in Alma? Then I can click open all rooms. Within 10 seconds, each person will be in their room. And so I can go check. So let's go see what Daphne and Fred are doing. So I can go in and see what Daphne and Fred are talking about. This is great because Daphne and Fred now are having this opportunity to talk one-on-one. So they're getting to have that interactive piece. So let's say it's been a minute or 2. Everyone's had a good enough time to talk. I could even send out something in the chat and say, you have 1 more minute to speak. And then when they've had enough time to talk, I'm going to click breakout rooms. And to bring everyone back to our main session, I'll click close all rooms. And within 10 seconds, everyone should be back. So these are my main tips about how to run our Zoom. When you are completely finished, you can just click the end button, click end meeting for all. Of course, I haven't been able to go over every single thing that I would like to, but hopefully this has really given you some more confidence. If there are some more topics that you'd like me to delve in deeper to in video, I'm happy to make a video about them or to meet with you safely with social distancing to show you how to use Zoom for your church meetings. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video and also to prepare to help your members have a great time in church while we are doing our social distancing. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye!